Did you know that only 3% of adults write down their goals? So if you're writing down your goals, you're already in the top 3%. Guys, it is hot today. It is 32 degrees at 10:16 in England. In England, it is 32 degrees and swelteringly hot in homes that are not designed for the heat. People, they are designed for the cold. They keep everything in, and it is so hot, and people are running around going, oh, I can't move, I can't breathe, I'm not going to send my kids to school, I'm not going to do anything, which got me thinking, how do we set goals and stick to them? Do you want to know the difference between people that are succeeding on a regular basis and those who are not? The people that are succeeding have clear and defined and precise goals. They know exactly what it is that they are wanting. Other people just run around without any clue, without any idea. They're just really fear avoidance, which is pretty much survival tactics. I need to just do enough to not starve, to just do enough to not lose my job, to just do enough to not get in trouble. Most people only follow that rule. You know the quickest way to lose a race? Never ever enter the race. If you want to have goals, they need to be clearly defined. We need to set goals for our health, relationships, finance, and spiritual. We need goals across our lives. And what do those goals mean? They can't be fluffy goals, rubbish goals. I need more money. Well, how much money do you need? What exactly is that number? Is it a monthly number, a weekly number, a yearly number? What exactly does that look like? I need more money. I need a better life. Well, what is a better life for you? Is it living in a different place? Maybe your goal is simply to move. I moved from South Africa to England. That was a goal I had in my life. I lost 8 kilos recently. The goal is fitness, lose some weight. There's a specific goal with a specific time frame attached to those things, and that's the important part. There has to be a start date and an end date, and then times in between, but you need to identify exactly what those points are exactly in detail. I want a better spiritual life. What does that mean? Reading your holy book more often. What is that? Going to a place of worship more often, joining societies that worship your specific religion more often. What does that mean in its exact entirety? I need a better relationship with my partner. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean you need to spend more time together? Does that mean you need to look at counseling in some cases? Does it mean that you need to, what is the exact definition of a better relationship with your partner? What is the exact definition of I need my finance to be better? What is the exact definition of a better life for you? Is it more time with your kids? What is it? What is it? And write it down. As I said at the beginning of this video, only 3% of adults write down their goals. You need to be specific. These are the goals that I have. This is when I'm starting. It's the 19th of July. I'm starting today to write out my plans. I'm starting today to identify what they are, and then I'm going to go forward and I'm going to put an end date. I want a better relationship by this time. I want a stronger relationship or a stronger spiritual relationship by this time. I want better finances by this time. What is that time frame exactly? So put those goals down and start working towards them. If you don't enter the race, you will never win. Why do we write down our goals? Because now we have a clearly defined action plan in terms of what it is that we are hoping to achieve. We've written down the exact examples, but when we write it down, it's like putting a plug into our brains that says we are going to achieve this goal, and we're going to start to attract all sorts of things. We're going to attract the right people. We're going to attract the right circumstances, because our brain knows that these goals are going to be achieved. We are going to start putting the steps, and we're going to start putting the wheels in motion in terms of achieving those goals, because now they are written down and we have a clearly defined pathway in terms of achieving them. But not only that, Now we have to take it to the next level. Now we have to go, okay, well, these are the goals. We've set the action plan, but what are the steps that need to be taken? So if you have goals like, I need to earn more money, well, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to earn more money? How much is it? I think we've defined that already, but let's say it's an extra £1,000 a month. What does that mean? Does it mean that we're gonna find a new job? That's option number one, finding a new job that pays an extra £1,000 a month. Well, that's great. The easiest way to achieve that goal is by actually taking the steps of finding that new position that is going to pay better relative to what we can do. But let's say that's not an option. Well, what are the other options? Well, we could say, I want to start up a sideline business. I've got my job. I want to make an extra £1,000 a month. What does it look like for me to do that? How long have I given myself in order to set up that business and actually achieve that extra £1,000 a month? I want that better lifestyle. What are the steps that need to be taken to achieve our goals? What are the people that we need to meet? What are the interactions that we need to have? Now that we've written them down, we need to start breaking them into their parts and say, all right, so for me to get a new job, it's going to take 4 months. For the next 4 months, I'm going to be applying. I'm going to be putting in CV applications. I'm going to be going to interviews, and then I'm going to get my goal. Or if I want to start up my business, well, what do I need to do that in order to get to £1,000 a month? And again, because you've got a clearly defined number, this is not a massive achievement. £1,000 a month is very attainable in terms of setting up your own business. You could sell at the local market coffee and still get to £1,000 extra a month just on the weekends. So what does that look like? What are the exact achievable goals that you have set for yourself? What is the timeline that you've given yourself, and how are you going to go about, and what are those steps? If it's a longer term goal, I want to be financially independent, well, you might have to give yourself a longer period of time to achieve that. If it's short term, well, what are the months, what are the weeks, what are the days? But the key to any goal When I started this video, I said it was hot. It is now 33 degrees in England, people. It is sweltering. It is actually so uncomfortable that all I want to do is sit back and relax and do nothing and sit under a fan and cool down, or in a swimming pool. But here I am making this video. Why? Because the key to any goal is every single day something has to be achieved. Every single day, no matter the weather, no matter your finances, no matter your stress factor, no matter your family, every single day something has to be achieved in order to get to that goal. In order to achieve your goals, you have to do daily activities that will ensure that you will get to that goal. Today, my activity for you is to produce this video to ensure that we are both on track in terms of achieving our goals. Cristiano Ronaldo is known as the greatest footballer. I know, Messi, blah, blah, blah. Greatest footballer of all time. Why? Because he works at it every single day. Rafa Nadal, greatest tennis player, works at it every single day. It's not about being born with this magical ability to achieve our objectives and achieve our goals. It is about hard work every single day, consistently putting in the effort to make sure that we achieve it. If you're starting a business and you're not marketing every single day, if you're not selling every single day, if you're not calling somebody every single day, you will not achieve anything within that business. Sorry, Siri jumping in there. Guys, you have to do every single day daily activities to achieve your goals, and you've got an action plan. You've written down the steps. What do those steps look like? What does your daily activity look like in terms of achieving those goals? If it's weight loss, believe me, you cannot lose weight if you are not doing something about it every single day, whether that's your diet, whether that's your gym, whether that's mental preparedness, whatever. In terms of an activity like weight loss, you have to be driving it every single day. You've got to be working out. You've got to be cutting down calories. Whatever your fitness or diet plan is, you've got to be doing it daily, and that is how you achieve that objective of losing weight. If you want to start your business, you've got to be selling and marketing. If you want spiritual awareness, you've got to read your holy book every single day. If you want a better lifestyle. You've got to identify what it is and what it means to have that better lifestyle and work at that every single day. If that means I want to move to a better, more prosperous part of the country, we'll start that process. As I mentioned before, I immigrated. It took me 2 years to immigrate. It wasn't a quick process. It took paperwork, it took finances, it took selling my things. There was a whole heap of process that went into moving to England for me from South Africa. So if you want to achieve something, you have to work at it daily, and that is how you keep your goals. You do not keep them by sitting back and going, oh, it's too hot today. Oh, it's too cold today. It's too rainy today. I'm too poor today. I had a bad night last night. I didn't sleep. My sinuses are acting up. I feel like I've got a cold coming on. There are excuses for everything, people, and believe me, I know a lot of them. There are excuses for everything. If you drive your objectives and your goals, you work at them daily. So when you're feeling sick, you say, well, I've got things to achieve. When you're feeling down, I've got things to achieve. When you're feeling poor, I've got things to achieve. Pick up that phone, make that call, market your business, drive your business, keep your goals, set your timelines. And these are not endless timelines. You need to have objectives that are set at a specific time from start to finish in terms of achieving your goals. Guys, you've got to focus, stay with it every single day, make an improvement, and you'll become the greatest. There are no unreasonable goals, only unreasonable deadlines. If you want to become a billionaire, that is absolutely fine. Many people have done it before. This is not a new thing. It is completely attainable. We've seen other people achieve it. So what is the difference between them achieving it and you achieving it? Well, quite frankly, goal setting is the difference. The major attribute, though, to this is how long is it going to take? One thing I've learned from very wealthy people over the years is nothing happens overnight. You always hear these success stories of, I started this thing in my garage and I became this multi-billion-dollar success and it took 30 seconds. Well, it didn't take 30 seconds. It took clearly defined plans. Apple, it took Steve Jobs, something like 10,000 phone calls he had to make to get one investor or some ridiculous number. Can't remember the exact fact, but the point is, it didn't happen overnight. He didn't pick up the phone to 3 people and go, poof, here comes Apple. He made the computer, he built the system, he made sure that it all worked. Him and his crew in their garage, but then they marketed to investors to make sure that their business was happening. Nothing happens overnight, people. You have to set clearly defined objectives. You have to build that list. And this is where so many people go wrong. It's all fair and well identifying my top 3 goals that I want to achieve, but what are the exact things that need to take place in order for that to happen? In the case of Apple, they had to design a computer that was already built. Cool. They've got the parts are there, they're putting it together. Now they've got the computer in its entirety, and that was different to the way it was done before. That's how they started. So what are you doing in terms of making sure that that first objective is done? What is your 0 to 1, people? How do you get over the line in terms of saying, well, I need a business, or I need more money, or I need whatever, and my goal is to achieve this? Well, what are those things that I need to do? If it's finding a new job, well, is my CV ready? Do I need to, how many applications do I need to put in? Where must I register my CV? Should I put it on CV Library, Monster, Total Jobs, etc.? Where must I put that CV in terms of achieving my objective? If I'm starting my own business and I want to make that extra £1,000, well, what does that actually look like? Must I identify a product? Once I've identified that product, what must I do with that product? Must I sell it at the market? Must I market it online? Start an Etsy store? Start a Shopify? What are those exact tasks that need to be achieved in order to make sure that my goal is achieved within a specific time frame? And what are the time frames connected to those tasks? So if it's start a store, well, how long am I giving myself? If it's starting a website, how long am I giving myself? If it's identifying a product, how long am I giving myself? Or am I going to look for products till the end of time, criticizing why I don't want to use those specific products, or am I going to actually just get on with it? And I've seen so many people go into analysis paralysis, not identifying their goals, not breaking them down into their core list points, and not actually achieving anything. Now that you've identified a list of all the objectives, every single one, you've looked at hurdles within the business, you've looked at people that you need to connect to in order to achieve your objective, you looked at all the pitfalls and all the possibilities in order to get to those goals, you need to start to get organized. The more comprehensive your list, the more you can get organized with that list. And you need to identify, how am I going to structure these tasks? In the case of Apple, going back to that example, they had to build the computer before they could get to the investors in order to invest to the marketing, etc. So what is that case point number one? And in terms of sequencing, what do you need to achieve as your first point, second point, third point, etc. within your objective in order to go forward? What are the things that are going to block you down the line? There is no point in going to investors with nothing. They have to go to investors with a product first and then get the investment. What does that look like for your business? So if you're setting up a business that sells coffee in the market, as an example, well, have you got a coffee supplier? Are you what is that product that you're doing? I mean, you can't go to the market first and then supply the coffee. So sequence your list. I think you get it. Sequence your list, put it in the order, and then to put it in order of priority as well. So what has to happen before something else can happen? And then what are the most important tasks that need to happen in order to achieve my objective, and by when, obviously. You now have everything you need in terms of your action plan to be the boss of your own existence. Stop waiting for others to make the rules for you and start driving your own future, your own success, your own goals, your own achievements. Put that plan together, get organized, identify those daily tasks that you need to do to achieve your goal time and time again. And those goals will differ from time to time and be adapted and grown and shrunk, and the list goes on. But the point is, you've got the tools now to set those goals and drive them into the future. So go out, start taking action, become the boss of your own existence. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, write a comment, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you, and best in business. Cheers, guys.